In the area where we did our game viewing, which was basically the southern half of the park, there were only two rivers which still had water in them, namely the Crocodile and the Sabi. There was also one dam and a reservoir. What little green grass there was grew in close proximity to the rivers, which resulted in a relatively high concentration of animals remaining in these areas for food and water. This was a huge benefit to the carnivores, as it meant that they didn't have to go far to hunt for food. The drought conditions resulted in different species of wildlife being forced together to compete for the limited amount of food and water. This unnatural situation caused a bit of stress and tension amongst the animals, resulting in incidents such as this standoff between a young bull elephant and a buffalo becoming an everyday occurrence. Buffalo seemed to be the worst hit by the drought, and recommendations were made by the park's management to cull some of these animals to reduce the amount of starvation amongst the herds. Their desperation to survive is shown by these buffalo forcing their way through this supposedly electric fence to find grass. In human terms, one might say that this particular elephant was having a bad hair day. Firstly, he thinks he's been attacked by two waterbuck when he turns to see them racing towards him. After realizing that this was not a threat, he storms down the riverbank, causing one large crocodile to flee into the water. The elephant then walks into the water. He sees the crocodile, but decides he's going to ignore it. With both animals on a collision course and being fully aware of each other's presence, it's now a matter of time before one animal has to back down. Wisely, the crocodile thinks the better of it, so it slowly sinks and disappears under the water. The elephant continues to cross the river, but stops on this rocky outcrop looking for something edible. He searches amongst the rocks, pulling out whatever he can find and eats it. However, even in these desperate drought conditions, it appears that there is some food which is just too awful to eat. He then completes the crossing of the river and stops at one of the stagnant pools to have a drink. But he spits most of it out, as he is not happy about something. Maybe the water has become contaminated by animals defecating in the small pool, or there is something else rotting in it, so he decides to look elsewhere for some more water. He clambers down the rocks towards the river and finds another pool with better drinking water. He then spends several minutes enjoying the cool water. Having quenched his thirst, he starts the climb back up the rocks, but this turns out to be a lot more difficult than he expected. On reaching the gentle slopes of the riverbank, he starts to feel better, as he sees that the shrubs and bushes look a lot more appetizing on this side of the river. Finally, he is able to relax as he has now found a place where he can eat some good food. On our final day at Ngwenya, we decided to return to Johannesburg via the park. It was with some relief that we saw that the sky was fairly overcast, and as we drove around the park, we noticed that light showers of rain had fallen in some areas during the night. Within the weeks that followed, the seasonal rains returned to the park, bringing much needed life and nourishment and an end to a devastating drought.